Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks God. And now we continue again to discuss the super preparation. Specifically, it is listening comprehension. Everybody. What is it? This moment, it is the continued discussions of the previous video. So in this slide, we will discuss some examples of the questions that usually uh, appears in the tuple listening tuple test. For examples like what does the woman mean? So it is usually we focus on the second speakers, and also it's about the dialogue between two speakers. The second, what does the man imply? What can we assume from the woman who is man? Where does this conversation probably take place? So if the what is it? If the questions uh, want us to know about the place, so we should focus on the two speakers where probably the conversation take place, and then what does the man assume? What will the man probably do next? What does the man say about? What does the man suggest? Okay. And then everybody, for part B and part C, yeah, it is also the examples about the topic and main idea. What is the topic of the conversation? Okay. So if we listens to the conversations or to the lecture talks or explanation, we should really uh, listen to the talk or to the conversation comprehensively and what is it carefully in order to know the topic of the conversations. And the next is what is the main idea of the talk, and then what do speakers mainly discuss. So and then what prompted the conversation. So these questions usually or generally lead you to think about the topics or main idea. And then the second one, it is about the detailed questions. Of course, if the detailed questions, it will be easy for us. It is just need our focus in order we can get the right answers. For examples like who, where, what, mean, why, and how. And the last is conclusions or inferences or predictions. What can we conclude from the conversations? It means that we should make our assumptions and also our opinion based on the conversations. What can we infer from the conversations? Who are the speakers? What will the speaker probably do next? So, uh, besides this, the time is limited. We must also be quick and also be focused. Okay, everybody. So the general strategies that we can apply: first, be familiar with the directions and also listen carefully to the conversation and thought. So as I told you, know where the easier and more difficult questions are generally found. So we should classify which one is easier and more difficult, and never leave any answers blank on your answer sheet. It means everybody we must be we get uh, must be accustomed uh, to answer all the questions without leaving the blank answers. Yeah, and then use the remaining time to look ahead at the answers to the questions that follow. So we must use the time maximally. And then so the strategies as you listen to each short conversations, focus on the second line of the conversations. So if it is a short dialogue, so we must focus on the second speakers. Keep in mind that the correct answer is probably a restatement of the second line. So we must underline and understand that this is the restatement of the second line. Keep in mind that certain structures and expressions are tested regularly in listening party. Structures, passive, negative, wishes, and conditions. It means that you must understand about uh, is the statement passives, negatives, wishes, or conditions. And functional expressions like agreement and uncertainty, suggestion, and surprise. So it's also relates to the intonation sometimes of the speakers. So we know that uh yeah, of course the language lexically shows that this is an agreement, this is a certainly and suggestion and surprise. And also helped by the intonations of the speaker. Idiomatic expressions, two part verbs, three part verbs. Uh everybody like we know that idiom that cannot be translated one by one. So it is a unity when we translate an idiomatic expressions. Keep in mind that these questions generally progress from easy to difficult. Even if you don't understand the complete conversations, you can find the correct answers. If you only understood a few words or ideas in the second line, choose the answer that contains a restatement of those words or ideas. So this is a good strategy, yeah. If you didn't understand anything in the second line of the conversation, choose the answer that sounds the most different from what you heard. Never choose an answer because it sounds like what you hear in the conversations. So uh what is it? We cannot just copy and paste what we hear, and of course we must use also our understanding. We must try our best to use our understanding. This statement can be in the form of synonym and antonym. I think you are familiar with uh, is it these discussions about synonym and antonym, paraphrase or rephrase, association, change of voice, active versus passive voice, and sub skills in listening comprehensions. It is about similar sounds, empathic expression of surprise. Similar sounds like restatement, draw conclusions, negatives, pure negatives, double negatives, almost negative, and negatives with comparative. Agreement and disagreement, and idiomatic expressions. Suggestions and wish meaning, conditional meaning. All right, everybody. So in this case that not only your understandings but also your grammar mastery also will influence your answer here. So I believe that everybody, when you join the test or the listening comprehension test, it's also it's also supported by your good understanding on the grammar mastery itself. Well, everybody, for today, for this moment, I think these materials that I can provide you. So next, maybe we can have uh, any discussions in the commenter column. And don't forget to always support me to explain more about anything and to share related to the educations. I think that's all, everybody. See you on the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.